Yo, shout out to everybody out there. Welcome to Angry Fan Sports. Subscribe to the channel, like the content. Y'all see who's on the screen. We got Kelsey, the ball hog Mitchell. We got Stephanie, the agent White, and we have the lovely Aaliyah Boston. I have nothing bad to say about Aaliyah Boston. She plays hard. She's Caitlin's friend. She doesn't make it seem weird. I rock with AB. You know what I'm saying? Now, with all that being said, let's listen to all the lies that are about to come out of Stephanie White's mouth. You know she's going to be lying. They done messed this organization up, bro. They messed this up. The opener season game still has tickets available. It still has tickets available. Fans are rebelling. So you know she's going to try to clean some things up. I think that's why Clark isn't here. No, Clark, we don't need you talking. No, we'll talk so we can continue our lives. You might tell the truth and mess everything up. You notice Clark wasn't talking last season, right? You got this big groin injury and you ain't letting us know nothing? I'm pretty sure that was a request from the front office. But hey, what do I know? Let's hear what she got to say. Oh boy, here we go.
No, the only update is she did not practice today. We're going to keep evaluating it day by day, but knowing that we have the full week, we'll give her an opportunity to make sure that she's as close to 100% as possible before we throw her out there.
Okay, thank you.
I'm assuming she's talking about Lexi Hall.
Thank you.
All right, next up will be Roberta. Roberta, you'll be followed by Blake.
My question is for Coach to hear how you see Damiris Dantas' role with the team this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think Didi's a player that we can count on to knock down shots. When we need a stretch big out there, she's going to have an opportunity to be out on the floor. She had a tremendous offseason. She's healthy. She's in great shape, and she's been impressive thus far in camp.
It's my turn?
Yeah.
All right, she can knock down shots when she's old. Like, I don't like this, man. I don't like this. She just went 0 for 8. Yeah, she had a good game last game, but prior to that, she went 0 for 8. We don't need to be seeing that. Like, we don't need to be seeing that. I don't like this, man. I think anybody can shoot except for Clark, man. I don't like this.
Hey, this is Blake Ferdau from Take and W Swish. Coach White, what identity do you want offensively, and what's the biggest growth there so far?
I want us to be a fast-paced team that's really hard to guard. We want the ball moving side to side. Really the goal is to play 0.5 to 1 second basketball, get a lot of player movement and ball movement. I think.
Yo, we know she don't even like to play like that. Y'all know that, right? She only saying this because all the backlash she's getting. This is crazy.
We're continuing to grow a lot in that area. A couple things that I think can still be a growth edge for us is one, like not over dribbling. I think we're over dribbling at times. Get it moving.
Look to the right, because that's what you're talking about.
And then two, just be great screeners and cutters. The little things, the details that are going to open up opportunities for one another and for teammates by being a great screener or being a great cutter.
And the question for Aaliyah, what's the next step for this team to become a true contender, and what's your approach to controlling the paint on both ends of the floor?
Yeah, I think I'll start with that part. Just continue to be that presence, making sure that I'm calling for the ball, making sure I'm shooting well around the rim, and defensively, just continue to be that post presence that we need. And I think for us, it's just about making sure that we're focused every single night we step on that floor, making sure that we're paying attention to the details, because all those little details matter. And so it's going to have to be our mindset.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, Coach, I saw Caitlin Clark was wearing a leg sleeve today. Any particular reason for that?
It's a style thing.
I don't like her. She's so phony. She's so phony. And she's old, so what she's doing is she's mind fucking this team now. So they all think, oh, man, she's a great coach, and we love her. She could care less about y'all, man. She ain't care about coaching neither one of y'all. This is crazy.
It looks good on her, doesn't it?
It sure does.
The internet seems to think so, yeah.
Well, the internet's a great resource.
All right.
You might want to shut up. That's the reason why y'all can't sell tickets now. You might want to stop being cute. You done fucked this whole franchise up. You might want to calm down.
Jackie, you're up. Jackie, you'll be followed by Yan Yan.
Thanks, everyone, for taking the time to do this. First, Kelsey, for you, I'm curious, what are some of your earliest memories of this league, and how do you reflect upon the league being in its 30th season?
Right? You made me feel so old. Jesus.
You are.
I remember being two to a room.
Kelsey, you are old. You are old. You are old. And you're kind of in the way right now. Baby, I'll listen.
I remember having to drive, to what? Not only Chicago, we was driving somewhere else too for a while. I don't know where that was, but having to fly with the rest of the world was always a thing that I embraced my first couple of years in the league, and to see where it is now, I'm obviously grateful to be in a position I am. But I think what was also who I am too, and so I want to be where I am without those experiences. But I'm happy to see the league keep making higher up changes, and so I'm just gonna keep embracing it as long as I'm a part of the league, and be grateful for the process.
What that mean? How ain't you in Project B? Listen, don't be trying to stay here till you 40. All right, we don't want you blocking her shine, bro.
And Stephanie, for you, when you think about this league being in its 30th season, how do you reflect upon the fact, alongside some of the history of the league, that has included moments where
Who cares? Like, what kind of questions are these? Who cares?
the league's business wasn't doing as well, and the public perception of the league was laced with preconceived biases?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, we can never control public perception. So that was never really a thing. I think
Well, depending on what. Because if y'all were actually playing interesting basketball, maybe you would have been perceived as more of a league and not a joke. You know what I mean? You can't control public perception, obviously, because we're tearing y'all asses up right now. But if you wasn't lying so much, and if we couldn't see the BS you was doing, we wouldn't be looking at you negatively. So let's not make it seem like, we're just bugging for no reason. We can't control it. No, you can. You can.
the biggest thing for me is, having been a part of this league for 28 of the 30 years, is just the growth and evolution of how the game is played, of the athlete in the game, the skill set of the women that are playing the game. It's always been the best players in the world, but the best players in the world are so much better. And just continuing to see them elevate, and then the respect that they're getting, because they are the best in the world at what they do. And I think there's been an intersection of the quote unquote casual fan, recognizing and realizing that these women are elite and that they're fun to watch, and our league is fun to watch, and that they play the right way.
Stop. You know why people are watching this league right now. Stop. Don't make it seem like we didn't know it was. No, Clark made it fun to watch. Stop doing that shit.
And now you combine that with everything that's happening, from just the exposure standpoint, and it's taken off. And so just being able to see from
because of who? When is somebody going to thank her for this? Let's stop playing games. When is somebody going to actually thank her for this? The fuck out of here. You ain't no real coach.
Grassroots, where we're driving in vans out to beg people to come to appearances, to now we're like, they're flying all over the world.
Y'all begging people to come to your games now. What changed? Y'all back to begging again. You done messed everything up, Stephanie White.
For appearances. Just something as simple as that. But we still have the grassroots mentality of how we interact with the fan, how we interact with community, how we give back to community. And I think that's something that's always special about women's sport and the WNBA in particular.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Courtney, I believe I missed you. I'll get you in 1 second. Yan, go ahead. And then Courtney.
Hi, this question's for Coach. You touched upon this a little bit at Fever Media Day last week, but with a few preseason games under your belt and having to navigate the injuries of Lexi and Aaliyah and Monique, what have you learned about load management these first few games of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think that exhibition play, preseason play is always, trying to get a lot of different, players out there. I think, some of these have been kind of freak things that have happened. It's difficult to really, we track everything. So we have a lot of load management information. But again, we talk all the time about controlling the things that you can control. A lot of the injuries that happened last year were really out of our control. Mo coming down on somebody's foot, kind of out of our control. And so, I think for us, we have the scientific data. We have the pieces in place to make sure that we're doing things and controlling it as much as we can from that aspect. And then you got to go out and play the game. I mean, injuries are a part of the game. All of us have been through it. Most of us have been through it. And it's just a part of the risk that we take to do what we love to do.
Thank you.
All right. My first question is for Steph White. You stated that standard is championships. How are you specifically preparing this group to transition from playoff contender to a title favorite heading into the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think certainly the standard is to position ourselves for a championship. Like, winning a championship is hard. I mean, anybody who's been a part of championship teams can tell you there's so many things that really have to come into play. Peaking at the right time, being healthy, right matchups, all of those different things. And especially in a series, winning a championship is hard. I think for this group, and I said it at the beginning of last year, there's no substitute for experience. And taking that next step and experiencing what it means to be in the semifinals, going through a season that had a lot of ups and downs, and experiencing the various aspects of what we could do to be better and position ourselves to have a home court, what we could do better to position ourselves to not have to not be in some of the positions that we were in, I think is important. And then it's about mentality, right? It's about the mentality of every day you step on the floor, that you have an opportunity to.
The way she's rambling and talking, you would think she would have won a WNBA championship as a head coach. Like, you have yet to win a championship yourself. Like, I don't know. This is crazy, bro.
To get better and to be great. And every day, it's a choice. We don't always feel like it. And some days are better than others, but every day we have to step on the floor and have a mentality that we're going to get better, we're going to grow, and that we won't be denied. And that's something that you have to have throughout the course of not just a season, but a series in order to win a championship.
I had one more for Kelsey. With Coach White mentioning that she wants to win a championship for you specifically, and they're in the whole team, what does that support from your coach and teammates mean to you heading into?
That's divide and conquer, Kelsey. I see you've already bought into it. This is divide and conquer is what she's doing with you and Clark.
To the season.
Everything that I am and embody is come from like a family-like vibe, and I think that's where Steph and I align. That's where me and Aaliyah align. Our culture and everything we are kind of like relies with family. And I think for me, knowing that I have somebody believe in me, knowing I have a post player that believes in me, and I can get that same respect and vice versa, it just feels good to kind of be in an atmosphere where you're valued. And then it makes you put your best effort for everybody else. When they give to me, it's only right that I give back. I told my coach,
give what back? You don't pass the ball to nobody. Who you give the ball back to? You ain't take no short for nobody to get better players. What did you give back, Kelsey? I'm confused here.
I was like, I'll go through the wall for you and people like AB, because when people love you and want to see you do great and they can hold you accountable and know that it comes from love, it just makes everything better. It makes the process a lot easier, and it makes our growth. It makes it worth it, in so many ways. So I'm excited to be a part of this group.
Thanks.
Michael, you're up. Chico next.
Yeah, just a quick one.
This is crazy. Nobody would be giving a fuck about none of y'all in all reality if you know who ain't go there, right? Y'all know that, right? All this shine, them talking. This is they act like they did this. This is wild to me.
For Coach, just what have you seen out of Raven Johnson during training camp, and what are you expecting out of her in her rookie year? And Aaliyah, if you want to take that too.
Yeah, her activity level, number one. I mean, she's very active on both ends of the floor. Defensively, she's elite. And that's something you never really worry about. I mean, we've drafted a lot of South Carolina players, here in Indiana, going back to Tiffany Mitchell when I was here. And you always know that they're going to be ready on the defensive end of the floor. And Raven just has some really naturally gifted skill sets and intangibles on that end. And so she makes plays because of that. And her energy, like she is a great kick ahead guard. Like she gets us going in transition. She can get a rebound. She can get a steal. She's passing that thing ahead. And she really ignites a break because of that. Look, she's going to continue to grow. There's going to be ebbs and flows throughout the course of the year and a career. There always are. But I think every day she has an opportunity to step on the floor. She's hungry to learn. She wants to be coached. She wants to be challenged. And, having that kind of mindset and mentality is really invaluable.
She said everything. That was really good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We have time for just one more question. We'll go to Jennifer. Jennifer, go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize. Chico, I had said you'd be up. Chico, you're up.
Steph, I know there's been conversations this year about Caitlin relinquishing some of the ball handling duties. How did that idea kind of come about, and how did she take it? Was she on board from the beginning, or did you have to kind of convince her a bit?
This is not some revolutionary idea. I mean, I think when you watch professional sport, you see that, across the board. You see it in the NBA. You see it in the WNBA.
Bro, he asked you a basic question. What you talking about? Why you can't just answer the fucking question? Like, what are you talking about right now? Just answer the question.
Okay, we've seen it with players in our league too. It's just the way that people and teams play Caitlin is different than they play everyone else. It's the nature of her skill set, of what she brings to the table, and it's really the ultimate compliment. And so in order to alleviate how hard she has to work on every single possession, it's important to get her off the ball sometimes. When you think about what are the ways that you can rest while you're on the floor, that's one way. Now you get it, not 94 feet away, but what's half of 94? My math's not all that great, but 40 something, 30 something feet away from the rim. I mean, it's better. And even better if it's second or third side of the floor when we've got a little bit of a rotation. And, this is, I know people are freaking out about this thing. It's not all the time thing either. It's just, it's a way to help her load management. It's a way to help alleviate some of the extra stuff that's put on her shoulders throughout the course of a game.
That's something Aaliyah is going to be obviously carrying the ball up, initiate some of the offense.
Point forward,
Heck
baby.
yeah, let's do it.
That's right.
Such a fucking stupid decision. Such a fucking stupid decision.
Right. I mean, and you saw it a year ago. You saw it with AB.
Her rebounds went down, But it's hard.
You got Kelsey on the floor, and look, we want to position our players to be successful, and sometimes it takes a little bit of tweaking in your thinking about how you can do that, and how you can do that, while resting them in live action is really important.
All right. That's the end. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm not sold. We'll see. The first 10 games look kind of simple. I feel like they should be like 7-3. Worst come to worst, 6-4. They play Portland twice. Like they should start off cool. Speaking of the beginning of the season, it seems like Sabrina Ionescu might miss the first 2 weeks. She had an MRI due to her ankle. I've seen that earlier. Chicago has waived Haley Van Lith, and they have signed Natasha Cloud. So y'all can all stop crying about Natasha Cloud now. She's on the team. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. I feel like the first 10 games is going to dictate everything. You know what I'm saying? I was watching Washington versus Atlanta last night. Kiki and Angel Reese. Kiki was wilding on Angel last night. Like, I kept saying, Angel, you need to stop worrying about Caitlin Clark and worry about your position. Kiki's right there. She's right there. So the first 10 games is going to say a lot. So let me know. Drop in the comments what y'all think. I think this is some bullshit. They just saying whatever. They see the backlash. They're trying to make it about Kelsey. This ain't about Kelsey. Listen, the reality is this, Kelsey Mitchell. Your time then came and went, man. You can still be a part of this team. No one's saying you got to go, but you got to know your role. This ain't about you. I don't care what this woman telling you. She ain't ever actually bring you to Connecticut or nothing. All right? She trying to play up under you. Oh, yeah, it's all about you. It's all about you. Now you and Caitlin Clark are very uncomfortable on the floor. You don't like passing the ball to her because you too thirsty to fucking shoot. Meanwhile, she's a pass. She shoots and pass. So you don't have the problem that she has. You're going to get the ball from her. She just don't get it back from you. That's the problem. I hope you overheard her say dribbling too much because she was talking about you. Let me know what you guys think about this amount. And y'all check out my rant from last night. Shout out to everybody who was in the chat. I usually make my rants live. I'm going to start doing that. A lot of people have been requesting for me to start going live ranting. I will be doing that because that's my expertise. Y'all know my other channel. I get crazy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what time it is, though. I'm out. Peace.